In Scotland we have too many people in prison. We've got a much higher percentage of people in prison than in most Western European countries.
The Scottish Government has released a new Community Justice Act that came out in 2016, and what that effectively does is it brings together a number of statutory partners and third sector partners to be responsible for local strategic planning.
Community justice probably means different things to different organisations, but in essence I think it probably means a number of different partners getting together, ensuring as far as we're concerned that there's adequate services for victims of crime and ensuring that offenders are dealt with in the most appropriate way.
I think that regardless of how you feel about offenders, that when someone has committed an offence and if they've been in prison and they're then released, they're coming back to live somewhere, and whether that's your community or another community, we have to do our best to support them.
However, it's also important to seek the views of communities to ensure that the process is transparent.
It's very important that we engage with people, make it real for people within the community to actually relate to individuals.
I don't think public perception will change unless we are totally honest about what is happening within our communities, and therefore we need to ensure that honest information is in the public domain so that people can make informed decisions about what is happening out in the community.
It's really important that we start to take some ownership in communities to support these people so that they don't keep committing crime.
You also can't keep people in prison forever. We do need to support people to become useful contributors to society, to fulfil their potential and to stop them reoffending.
The third sector has got the experience and the skills to develop innovative solutions that really fit what's needed by people at a local level in our local communities.
Well, we're really hoping that this new approach is going to change the conversation quite significantly and change the public perception around offending behaviours.
It makes more sense to look at the root causes and reasons why people get into trouble and address those.
A lot of that is about wrapping services around people, a lot of that is about support mechanisms, and a lot of that is actually about getting alongside people and treating them as people, not as statistics.
I think when it works right, it means we've got a tailor-made, person-centred, community-orientated approach that fits the Highlands. It isn't one design suits all that is made, decided upon somewhere else. I think the difference it can make is that our communities are actually part of the solution.
I think there's a lot of research already been done into the fact that short-term prison sentences don't work.
Surely we should be asking ourselves, if we put the right supports in place at the right time, would some of these offences have happened in the first place?
I would hope to see a reduction in reoffending and therefore a reduction in the number of victims coming forward.
And certainly if people are doing community payback orders or community sentences and it's work related to improving the community, well, I think that's all good and people see the benefits of that and they see maybe a difference within the community, whatever what that work may be, but it's to the benefit of the community as a whole, and I think people are more likely to engage with that.
A big part of our goal is to support people to help them find the right choices for them.
Everybody has the capacity to change.
One of the things that the prison service has invested in across Scotland in the past 2 years is through care support officers, and what they have done is actually breached the walls, as it were, of the prison and went to different appointments with prisoners as a kind of advocate for them, and I think the most amazing thing about that is prison officers with 30 years experience coming back and saying, I used to wonder why people continue to come back into prison, when actually I went out there and I could not believe how difficult and complicated it was to navigate all the different agencies, from housing to benefits to getting a GP to things that we often take for granted. So it's really, really, really important that we help people establish themselves back into the community.
I think that by rehabilitating people, you're giving them the chance to offset their past and actually realise their full potential.
There has to be a decisive shift by all the partner agencies to focus on the prevention.
The Community Justice Partnership is committed to supporting rehabilitation to enable us to have safer communities.